Do you want Donald Trump? Do you like Donald Trump? Do you think that Donald Trump is the absolute best candidate that we've ever had? No, you don't have to think that he's the best, but he is absolutely better than what we are going to go up against with the Harris Walz ticket and RFK Jr. And at this point in time, I didn't know if Donald Trump was going to be in it for himself, like the Donald Trump revenge tour for everything that they did to him in 2020. That was my biggest insecurity with Trump. Was he actually going to take down the FBI, right? Like at one point, he's like, we'll build a new, beautiful building. I don't want to hear that, Don. I want to know that you're going to go after them. The FBI is rotten to the core. You need to dismantle them. And if you're going to rebuild it, fine. But take this one down to the studs. After he gets shot, I feel, and again, this is just me, but it feels different now that he is going to go through and say, everything that I can possibly do will be done. No matter what. It's not going to be the personal revenge tour. I think it refocused him where he is the best version of himself when he's saying, they are coming after me because I'm standing in the place of you. They want to get to you, and I'm just the person that's not going to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
And
a little taste of your own mortality goes a long way.
Yes. And I think that when you look at this election cycle as a whole, we were veering away from the issues, and which is always the worst thing that Republicans can do. Please keep this about the issues. But Donald Trump, being Donald Trump, likes to just, get off script sometimes.
He's still the biggest news story in the world. And I think that's what really drives them insane. Because if you control what the biggest story in the world is, if you choose what becomes news at the top, that radiates down through the whole media ecosystem. All the commentators, all the Monday morning quarterbacks, all of the commenters and the replies. And that's why they don't like Elon, is because he's shaping the agenda for the news. And, that's great, but it's not enough. I was DMing a friend of mine in England on X. And, I was like, wow, what do you think about this? And he just replied, Signal. And, he's like, he pops up in Signal. And he's like, sorry, I'm just not going to talk about it there, even on X, which is really, really disturbing.
That is. And I look at it where Donald Trump would always get in trouble when he would tweet at 4 a.m. And that would be the news cycle of the day.
Yep.
Well, he has Truth Social now. He's not as active as he used to be. I mean, tweets used to be flying out for Donald Trump.
Classics.
And that's where he would get in trouble. He's not there now. So I think that Donald Trump is much more likable and not in his own way, not a hindrance to himself when it's a little bit more filtered through Truth Social. And then eventually that works its way over to X and everybody sees what he's saying.
It really is amazing, just the incredible staying power of Donald Trump as a news story, as a public figure. I mean, he's even bigger than aliens, than UFOs. And you look at, this is a perfect example of Tucker versus Rogan. Tucker, UFOs, demons. Rogan, UFOs, they're our friends. This is an interdimensional friendship tour, man.
But Donald Trump is going to dominate the news cycle every single time. And this is what, honestly, the mainstream media was still waiting for him to come back.
They need
because
him.
They saw what their ratings were without Donald Trump. And they couldn't, if you're an MSNBC, you can't go off every night just raging against nothing. They need that bully to go after. They need Orange Man bad, because what were they going to say about Joe Biden? We clearly know that they weren't going to say anything truthful. They couldn't say, oh, by the way, he has dementia. We see how he's performing.
Right. Another deep dive into the dementia. It's true.
Everybody can see it. No, they aren't ever going to expose themselves. They will do whatever they have to cover up for their team, because they do view themselves as somebody that is playing on the same team.
Yeah.